What's up, guys? Landon Rich, call center crew, bringing you Metric Monday today. Got some sunshine. You see quite the glare on my head there. North Utah has been great. Well, it's been one of the worst winters we've had, but the weather's been great, nice and warm. So, jumping right in, Metric Monday. It's kind of a continuation. Had a lot of questions on NPS. I know we, on Metric Monday 5, if you look back on YouTube, you can find the kind of when we define and talk a little bit about how to control it. Today I want to go a little bit more in depth on what we found with just how to best operate and control and predict as best as possible the NPS scores that your agents are having. So, number one, you have to have, and I say this all the time, I'm a broken record, you have to have visibility down to the agent level. You have to be able to tell your agents how they're doing and how often they're doing well or poorly. And then obviously being able to tie that NPS score back to a specific agent so you know where the problem is, right? It's like trying to fix a leak in a pipe with not knowing and not being able to identify exactly where the leak is, right? Where the crack is. If you don't have that, being able to tie that back to an agent level, you consistently have to do blanket trainings. And if you have even over 10, 15, 20 agents, let alone hundreds of agents, kiss it goodbye, right? It's going to be too hard. So number two is, so if you have that and you're able to identify the exact agent, the next one, the number one that I think that would help, that would take the best action in improving your NPS is the opening of the call, right? And specifically with the agent. That agent better be happy. You've heard the term smile and dial. That agent's got to be happy, enthusiastic, ready to help that customer solve whatever it is that they're calling in for, right? So it's kind of a two-part. Number one, attitude and enthusiasm, but then within the first 30 seconds, that agent needs to either confirm the identity of the customer, right? So validate the customer into the account, into the CRM, and then find out why they're calling, right? If it's a question, if it's a concern, if it's a tech issue, if it's they want to buy something, you better find out in the first 30 seconds why they called in. And then obviously we're going to tie that into a little bit later. Third one, number three, is the flow and the call flow specifically of the call. If you got an 8-minute average handle time, you better be able to resolve that issue that you identified in the first 30 seconds. You better be able to resolve that issue in that 8-minute time frame, right? Along with answering all the other questions and handling the customer's concerns, whatever it may be, right? Looking stuff up in the CRM, getting information from a knowledge base, whatever. So having checkpoints throughout the phone call is very, very important, right? So for example, 0 to 30 seconds, validate customer, identify problem. The next 2 to 3 minutes is better understanding or listening about what the problem is and being able to identify a course of action. And the remaining time of your average handle time is resolving that issue, right? And then the last minute is kind of what we're going to go into here. The number 4 is, are the customer's concerns resolved, right? That last minute, last 60 seconds is, is there anything else I can help you with today? After solving that one issue, right? Are you 100% satisfied with the correction or with the terms that we've given you today, right? Validating, answering them. And if you know for a fact right there, if you're able to understand and solve the problem, first of all, but then at the end, you ask them outright, like, hey, how did we do today? Right then and there, you're going to be able to tell what's going on, if you're going to be able to get a good NPS score back or not. It goes without saying, you can't obviously provide good customer service without knowledge. There always needs to be consistent up training for customer service, different certifications or different things that you're constantly training the agents on to get them better, get their knowledge up. That's a must, right? That goes without saying. The last thing that I wouldn't get into too big of a habit of this just because it takes a lot of it, but if you know that if an agent knows that that's going to be a bad call, right? The customer called in, they were already irate. It's going to go downhill from the beginning. Something that you can do that I've seen done in the past, again, I wouldn't focus on this because it is more of like you're being okay with having bad calls, is an agent can raise their hand and you can flag that phone call and have a personalized callback from a supervisor go to them, and you could potentially offer them something free, a gift card, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So to kind of ease that NPS score, maybe it takes it from a detractor up to a neutral, but or maybe from a neutral to, hey, you know what the heck, I'll give them a survey and give them a promoter. So anyways, those 4 steps, just to recap: agent, opening, enthusiasm, verifying the customer. Number 1 is agent visibility, right? You have to be able to tie the NPS score back to the agent. Number 2 is opening and understanding the concern. Number 3 is the call flow, right? Breaking it down, making sure that you're answering the questions they needed. And then last one is making sure that customer leaves that phone call with their concerns resolved and that they're happy, right? Guys, check it out, callcentercrew.com/Metric Monday. As well, stay tuned for the upcoming podcast on Wednesday, as well as the weekly wisdom on Friday. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.